there and welcome back to my channel. And this week's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a chatty video for you. Lots of you have requested in the comments that I talk about how I stay healthy and quite slim and happy. And so I thought I'd like to do a bit of a chatty video this week, just going through the sorts of things that I've found in my life that help me, and hopefully it will help you. I think for me personally, and again, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a personal trainer, these are just things that I've read and that I've learned, that I've been taught in my life. But I, for me, think that when I'm truly happy, then I look my best. And probably like all of you, there are times in your lives when you're not that happy. The person that you're looking at now, that you see, is not always the person that I've been. I have been through rubbish in my life, as I'm sure a lot of you have, and in fact I could write a book on it. And at times I've struggled to keep my weight down, struggled to put that smile on my face, struggled to put that makeup on. And so I've learned to just try and use certain techniques and things and adopt and adapt certain things within my life to make me feel as good as I can for as long as I can. And I eat pretty healthy. I've always eaten pretty healthily. And one of the things that I truly think is that, you know, I eat healthily probably for about 80% of the time. And that 20% is where, you know, you can just chill out a bit. Don't beat yourself up. You can have that takeaway. You can have that wine. You can have that box of Maltesers. I've been known to rip the lid off the Maltesers and eat the whole box full when I've been having a bad time. And it's okay, because the majority of the time you're back on the track doing your 80%. But I'm not obsessive about it. I'm just about enjoying life and trying to balance my life through all the different things that we do. And our lives change. You know, when my kids were little, I wasn't able to spend as much time on myself, and things were hard, and financially it was tough. And you've got to somehow find a way through that and out the other side. And as you get older, things can get you down because you're aging, you don't look 25 anymore. And I've got friends that are quite depressed about the whole aging process. And what I'm trying to say to them is, look, just love yourself, love your wrinkles, love the fact that, you know, you're not perfect. Love the fact that you've got a few aches and pains and that your back hurts occasionally, because that's what life is like. But we've just got to get on with it and enjoy it and appreciate the good things that there are out there. So let's start first of all with, I've got some notes, so you'll have to forgive me looking down all the time. That's another thing about getting old, you have no memory, do you? Well, I say that. So I try and drink loads of water. Try and drink about 6 glasses a day. I do have a coffee in the morning. I couldn't even function without my little caffeine hit. You ask my husband, I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I need a coffee. But I try and drink water, and I've learned, I used to get headaches when I go shopping in town. I think, why have I got a headache? And it's because I hadn't had a drink for hours. You know, why don't you think of that? But you don't, do you? You're dashing around. So I try and drink water. I have one of those big containers, you know, the ones with the little tap at the bottom. You get from John Lewis, all sorts of places. And I just stick some lemon in, some blueberries, and it makes the water taste a little bit better. So I try and drink plenty of water. I do try and eat plenty of fruit and veg. I always have done. I eat my protein, my fish, not much red meat, chicken, all that sort of thing. I eat a bit of dairy and try and balance all of that out, but that's quite hard. I've got a crazy life. We're away a lot. My husband's, you know, travelling all the time. We eat out. It is quite hard to balance it all. So I try and snack on fruit. I try and snack on the good things. But yeah, I do have a slice of coffee and walnut cake. I do have a Starbucks. I have all those things because those are the things that I like. Because as your body ages, your cells aren't regenerating in the same way, and not only does that in your skin, but it's also in your body. I take vitamins. Now, the sorts of vitamins I take Imidine, which is collagen, and you can take this from your 30s upwards, and they do a couple of things for whatever age groups you are. So I take collagen. That is fantastic to help plump your skin. I also take really good quality vitamins And these are by Patrick Holford, because he's written loads of books and I really love his stuff. One of the most important things is that they come in these blister packs, and therefore the air hasn't got to them but to not make them as effective as they normally are. So you want the most effective vitamins you can buy, so get them in blister packs. Let me just put my glasses on. So these vitamins, the ones that I take, contain age antioxidants, the omegas that are so necessary, B, C, D and E vitamins, which are all so important to your lifestyle. And then I also, as I said, I was tested for vitamin D, so I take vitamin D drops. Most people apparently in this country, in the UK, are vitamin D deficient, and so I take that every day, and it's a really important vitamin. You need zinc. There's lots of different things that you need. Anyway, this is called the 100% Health Pack, and in that is a multivitamin and mineral with antioxidants, essential fats and phospholipids, which I don't even know what they are. But when you read on the side, there's amazing vitamins in there. I feel better when I'm taking vitamins because I know that my diet is balanced, and as I've got older, I've realised that I need to supplement my life with vitamins, because I now eat less, because I used to be able to eat a 3-course meal and not bat an eyelid. Now I can't, and I'm not taking in probably all the vitamins that I should be, so supplementing like that makes me feel better. What else do I do? I exercise. Now, I'm not an exercise freak. I'm truly not. I know that we're supposed to do about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Find something that you love. If you've got a dog, get out and walk it, run with it, throw the ball, anything that raises your heart rate. I'm lucky, my husband works in fitness and I've got a treadmill, and although some people find that boring, I just put my iPod in, listen to my favourite tunes and away I go. And I'm fine with that, and I try and do that for 30 minutes a day. If I don't do that, I'm in town shopping, and I've got my flat boots on. I walk at a really fast pace everywhere. I know it sounds really crazy, but just getting that heart rate up, whatever you're doing, I try and take the stairs instead of the lift. I try and run for the bus, or it's all those kind of things, and or else I'll go crazy with the housework and do it at super fast speed. All of those things I've found really help. Now, I've got really low blood pressure and low blood sugar, which I've had obviously from a child. I used to faint, and it's quite dangerous. I mean, I've got a scar here from where I passed out as a child, and I've had to learn to monitor. So I bought one from Boots, a heart rate monitor, and it takes my blood pressure. Now, when I get up in the morning, my blood pressure is really low, so I always have something like porridge in the morning, and then it's fine after that, and my blood sugar is usually really low, and then that pushes me into the normal levels. So I have to watch that all the time. But one of the things to do is just take your blood pressure occasionally. Mine is low, but I had a friend who took hers and it was really high, and she didn't know. And those are all the things that you should be looking out for occasionally. So I do allow myself that caffeine in the morning, but I try and drink herbal teas as well, because again, too much caffeine isn't good for you, and sometimes my heart does race a bit, so I've had to cut down on a lot of that, and also found that caffeine late at night I can't sleep with it. I also try not to eat carbs late at night as well. But for exercise, like I say, I do the treadmill a bit, I try and walk a bit, but one of the things that I found, probably the most important thing for me as I've aged, is flexibility. I've spent a life probably in front of a computer and driving, where you're stuck in one position. So I do good old, here's my yoga mat, I do yoga, and I also do Pilates, and I never truly realised the value of that. And as you age, everything starts, the collagen that enables everything to be flexible starts to make everything tighter, shorter, and you're less flexible. And the thing that ages you a lot is that lack of flexibility. So I try and do 10 minutes of Pilates a day. I don't do it every day, but the fact that I'm doing it, I feel better. So I try and do some of that. One of the most important things though for me overall is my mental state, and staying strong mentally through all the things that life throws at you can be really hard at times. When you go through the menopause, I got quite depressed. I actually ended up going on HRT, and because I was allergic to progesterone, really sensitive to it, I'm now on bioidentical hormones, and I go to a clinic in London, which was the thing that saved me really. I probably wouldn't have the energy levels that I've got now. I wouldn't feel as good as I do now if I personally wasn't on HRT, but I know that's not for everyone. I tried all the herbal roots and things like that and nothing worked. And I went into a menopause really quickly at the age of 41, and it wasn't great. But what do I do when I get down? I would say that we all get down, and my temptation is to reach for that glass of wine, that gin and tonic in my case, that box of Maltesers. And yeah, I do, but there's another part of me that knows I'm going to be really fed up with myself for doing that the next day when I get on the scales and whatever. So I have found for me that things like exercise help me massively, and I know it's a real struggle at times to do it, but it does, it releases those endorphins that do make you feel happier and better about yourself. I'll just go for a walk. I love the countryside, just feel the wind in my hair. I might just listen to some music. I do have a bath and pamper myself and take time out now to just think about me. And all of those things are what keep you going and keep you mentally strong when you just think, oh my God, what's the point? Because it is really hard, life is really tough, and to keep buoyant and up and happy and keep getting over those little hurdles of life, as I keep telling my girls, is hard. And above all, your friends, they keep you happy and healthy. So I suppose the point of all of that is that I'm saying that happiness comes from within, and happiness reflects in the way my body is. So I'm slimish, or I'm fairly slim, because I'm happy. I'm not saying that I don't go through rubbish, but I'm more able to deal with the rubbish of life now because I've got these coping strategies and techniques that I use, and I try and live that balanced lifestyle. I hope this has really helped. I know it's been a bit of a weirdo, chatty kind of thing, but it was something that you asked me to do, and I wanted to get across to you that everybody has issues, problems. People might look one way, but actually inside something else is going on. And what I feel above anything else passionate about is that we are here to help each other, and that's what we're on this planet to do, is to love our friends and our family, and to get through it together. And I hope that this video in some way helps you to understand that much as I sit here all happy and healthy sometimes rubbish is going on, and it happens to us all. If you've liked it, give it a massive thumbs up, because I've loved doing this chatty video for a change, because this is all about life, isn't it? Not just beauty, it's beauty in other ways too. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you next week. Bye! It's number 210, and it's a coral colour, and it's their Instant 3D Volume Lip Gloss. This is gorgeous. You can put this on, and it's got like a menthol feel to it, which is